Ex-NYPD officer, retired cop, has now received 10 years, 10, for attacking a DC cop during the January 6th riot. Let's put his picture up full mass here. You see, this particular retired police officer decided to engage in acts of domestic terrorism, likely because he engaged in those same acts during his tenure as police. Here's some video. If he'll do that to the police, what do you think he would do to, let's say, black people, individuals that he does not feel have status to check him, to check his authority? Let's put his picture up again. Thomas Webster is his name. Officer Webster has now received 10 years by US District Court. While the longest sentence yet in a case related to the insurrection, Webster was initially facing 17.5 years in federal prison. The retired NYPD cop was convicted of several felonies for attacking the DC police officer with a flagpole. Now, is there any ambiguity about his attack? No. Is there any rebuttal to the fact that he attacked the police? No. Where are the law and order Republicans at? Where are they? Where's the let's back the blue crowd? Where are they? You literally have a guy who's not even a cop anymore. He's a retired NYPD officer when he goes to attack a current police officer. Are they still backing the cops? Are they still saying we need to increase funding for the police? Are they saying that this individual needs to receive the maximum penalty allowed under the law? No, they're not. But I guarantee you, if that ex-cop would have been, let's say, a member of Black Lives Matter, hell, if they just would have been black, that would have been the rhetoric from the right. But remember, narratives, they don't really care much about the issue of police protection. They care about narratives. In this case, the narrative works against them, where you literally have one of their own, so to speak, attacking a cop. They're not willing to call the attacker out because the attacker fits their narrative. They want people to engage in this kind of criminal conduct. They want people to engage in this kind of chaos. There's more. The judge said Webster was the first aggressor in this back and forth in his confrontation with the officers, and that all hell broke loose when he showed up at that part of the police line, which I agree. Jurors convicted this former officer, 56 years of age, in May after they determined he was lying on the stand when he tried to convince them that he was trying to help the officer he assaulted to see my hands when he grabbed the officer's gas mask after he tackled him to the ground. So he engages in this extreme physical assault, grabs the mask of the cop, tackles the cop, and tells the jury, no. What you see here is me actually trying to allow the officer to see my hands have no weapons. Now, if a cop a lot like that under oath, if a retired NYPD police officer will get on the stand and lie like that, what kind of fantasies do you think he created on police reports during his tenure as an officer? There's another interesting connected story. An attorney has now been caught up. Let's put a picture up. Her name is Kelly Sorrell, 43 years of age, general counsel for the Oath Keepers, anti-government, far extremist, right extreme group. So this attorney A close associate of its leaders, Stuart Rose, was charged on Thursday. Her charges include what? Conspiracy to obstruct the certification of President Biden's Electoral College victory, obstruction of justice for tampering with documents, and a misdemeanor charge for entering Capitol grounds. According to the indictment, she persuaded others to destroy and conceal records sought by investigators, a clear violation of bar ethics and a clear violation of law. After Rhodes' arrest in January, this attorney told the media that she was acting as the president of the Oath Keepers while he's behind bars. Sorrell, the attorney, told the Associated Press last year when an FBI agent seized her phone as part of the investigation that she had no knowledge of nor involvement in the Capitol breach. She called the seizure of her phone unethical and the investigation a witch hunt. The attorney was photographed with Rhodes outside the Capitol on January 6th at the terrorist attack that she said she was not at. And was present at an underground garage meeting the night before the riot. That's been a focus for the investigators. She was part of the plot. The meeting included Rhodes and the prolific snitch named Enrique, the former chairman of the Proud Boys. Attorney Sorrell was also on a call with Rhodes and the Oath Keepers days after the 2020 election, during which Rhodes rallied his followers to prepare for violence, according to a transcript made public in court. Now let's put up the picture of this attorney again. This attorney has thrown away all of her legal learning, all of those years of college, all of those years of understanding, learning, and mastering the law. Why? Because she is caught up now in a violent terroristic cult spearheaded by Donald Trump, former president of the United States. Let me be very clear. I don't care what your political ideology may be. Donald Trump is leader of the largest cult in human history, a cult without walls. That's what we have. People are transforming and turning in their decency, sense of ethics, sense of right in order to follow this tyrant known as Donald Trump. All logic has been abandoned by people that are seemingly smart or smarter than this. All right, Rayyvana, thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right to call out the hypocrisy of the Back the Blue and the Blue Lives Matter movements. But it's pretty in keeping with what the Blue Lives Matter means to police officers, because it doesn't mean that they actually care about protecting the lives of their fellow police officers. We see this all the time. If a police officer in a department dares to speak out against the racial injustice of that police department, the gendered violence of that police department, then they are silenced. They are retaliated against. I mean, I've seen cops choke other cops for daring to tell them that you are using too much force in this arrest. They don't care about blue lives. They care about protecting the institution of policing as it is, not as how it could be, but the way that it is, a violent, racist institution in this country to perpetuate racial violence. So it's not a surprise to see a cop on cop violence, as it were. It's also not a surprise to see a cop lying on the stand. I have friends at the public defender's office. They have a saying, how do you know if a cop is lying under oath? His mouth is moving.
Damn.
They call it test the lying. It's got its own name.
Wow, police reports are so unreliable. Judges don't even allow them as rules of evidence during a trial. So that should tell you something. Judges have known for many years that cops lie on these damn things.